I don't really care whether you agree or not, but this is the sickest looking production Viper ever made. Hey. Next to me is a 2017 Dodge Viper ACR Extreme, and Extreme is just about the only way to describe this. Sporting the largest production V10 engine ever made, Dodge wasn't joking when they wanted their flagship sports car to go out with a bang. The Viper debuted in 1989 and was available for purchase in 1992. Since its inception, it's always paired a V10 engine with a 6-speed manual transmission, never even offering an automatic transmission. Now that's my kind of car. Over the years, the look has evolved, but has always maintained that true Viper style we've all come to know and love. The Extreme package of the ACR adds a crazy amount of downforce, 2,000 pounds at 177 miles an hour with its insane 74-inch carbon fiber rear adjustable wing. Another neato feature is the carbon fiber rear diffuser, which Dodge gives you 6 bolt-on strakes to help with stability. And the aero features don't stop there. Front dive planes provide even more downforce and help keep it balanced, even visually, I think. They complement the 6-foot wing from the front angle with ease. Every opening you see on this car is fully functional. Hood vents can be removed to help cool the engine and help prevent aero lift. The same goes for the vents over the front wheels. And with all the additional carbon fiber packages added, it really helps finish the exterior look. As I said, everything is functional, and so are the vents just past the windows. They help channel air to the rear brakes with add-on brake ducts available for the front. Under the comically long 6-foot carbon fiber hood, you'll notice a carbon fiber structural X-brace to help with handling, and you'll without fail notice the giant engine. This car is dedicated to performance, so what good is it to have the largest V10 engine at 8.4 liters if you can't put the power down properly? This is why it's fitted with some of the largest rear wheels seen on a production car, 355s. The custom tires even have a nice badge just in case you forget which tires go on what supercar you own. And of course, it does you no good to go fast unless you can stop fast. So the 15.4-inch front and 14.2-inch rear carbon ceramic brakes make sure of that, the largest ever offered on a Viper. My appreciation for the Viper began at a very specific time, and that was when Gran Turismo for the original PlayStation was released in 1997. Its radical look was unquestionably cool to a young 12-year-old me. To see this specific model in person was a real treat. To me, it's literally a video game come to life. Technically, you could say this is the owner's backup Viper, since his main joyride is a 2008 SRT-10. Who is this guy, you might ask? Well, I'll let him introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Aaron Maltz, founder of FitLab. I started this full-service wellness, fitness, and nutrition platform because I really want to help as many people as possible.
Aaron invited me to join him at the Greenwich Cars and Coffee car show in Connecticut. The show was littered with everything from classics to supercars, so the ACR fit right in. I was tempted to sneak my 1990 Legend into the mix, but didn't want to make anybody feel bad. Now this car is well under the break-in period with very low miles, so Aaron can't exactly do burnouts or high-speed runs, so I'll apologize for that now. But what I won't apologize for is how damn good this sounds. Once we got the car out of the garage, we were graced by the presence of his friend in a McLaren to join us on the way to the car show. Man, that is a intimidating hood.
It's a long hood to look over.
It really is. It is kind of weird seeing this McLaren behind this beautiful car.
That's a 675 LT coupe. Got a roof scoop on it. It's got the vents over the front wheel wells. That thing is a really special car, as is this one. Special Viper. So they made 100 of the GTSREs, which essentially are really just a regular ACR Extreme, just with a special paint color and limited to 100 cars out of about ballpark 600 ACR Extremes they ever made. This one, though, is the opposite color scheme and ordered as a special one of one. It wasn't a factory color at all.
You're saying ACR Extreme. Is that just the standard? Like if it's an ACR, it's an ACR Extreme, or are there two different levels of ACR?
There were two different levels. So there was the regular ACR, which was actually less commonly ordered. It only had one dive plane on each side on the front of the car. It didn't have the vents over the front wheel wells like this car does.
And that is a great look.
Oh,
like all the little frills.
So much to it.
It adds a lot of character to the car.
Absolutely. The back wing is a lot bigger on this one. A lot bigger, a good amount bigger than the regular
that is a
ACR.
gigantic wing.
It's like a picnic table. You could have a whole meal on that thing.
The hood on this is everything to me. And I love how I can see the scoops going down in it. I love those two stripes just staring right at us. I mean, this is proper anarchy in that you would think it's kind of too much as far as the look and how extreme it is, but it just somehow ends up perfectly. It is a perfect version of a Viper, in my opinion. When you told me you had 272 miles on this thing, I was like, this guy doesn't know how to read an odometer. I was like, there's no way that's possible.
It takes some restraint, and honestly, I have 2 little kids at home, and it's kind of hard to take them for a ride in it. Luckily, I do have another one to help keep the miles down in this one.
Is the feeling
very different animals?
It's very different.
I mean, they're both distinctly Vipers, no doubt about it. But the other one is even more analog, where this one has a couple electronic nannies on it. Honestly, my 2008 beats me up more than this one does. This is a little more refined, believe it or not.
I have to say that most times when I'm getting onto a highway and I see 2 cars like this coming on, I'm never anywhere in it or near them. So it is great to be a part of this right now.
Glad to have you along, buddy.
Thank you so much for the invite.
It's my pleasure. You gave me a reason to take this thing out today.
Do you kind of get a little bit of anxiety when you see that odometer start to tick up a little bit?
Every mile you put on,
it's every dollar you lose.
It's like $1 coming out of the exhaust, you know.
Are there any knocks against this car as far as how it feels, any feedback from the road or anything like that?
You feel everything, which I think is a good thing. I prefer it. They were really brutal on this car in the reviews. This thing's a pleasure to drive. I think it's very predictable.
Yeah.
As long as you fear the car and respect the car, it will not kill you. It'll take care of you.
It's slightly brutal, but at the same time,
you're not dying. You're
not dying.
You don't need a kidney transplant.
No, it feels great being in here too. I mean, as wide as it is, it's still a little tight. But as tight as it is, I'm comfortable. It feels great.
I gotta tell you, the seats are really comfortable in this thing.
It is very well done as far as the stitching. I really do like the layout of everything. Materials of this leather wrapped
Alcantara, you got the little checkered flag detail. It's very cool.
It's those little details that are kind of driving me crazy about this car. I just absolutely love it. The Nürburgring styled inside of the door handle, silly things like that. Top Gear had reviewed one of the Vipers and had made a joke about the body panel gaps were this, that, and the other thing.
The panel gap. Look at the panel gap. Is that?
I'll stand behind you. You can have a look at me.
Let me see if I can see how many fingers you can holding up in that panel gap.
Well,
yep, 2.
They didn't really have the focus put onto the build on maybe the baseline Vipers.
Yeah.
But I'm noticing on this is kind of meticulous.
Very
in its
meticulous.
build.
Yeah. And it's I think it's the only hand-built American car, to my knowledge. They totally upscaled the car on a shoestring budget. They actually reused some parts from the old previous generation, like the windshield. A lot of people don't realize that's the same exact windshield as on my 2008.
Oh wow, really?
Yep.
It sounds great. Yeah, that sounds pretty damn good.
It never gets old. Every time I get in this thing, it puts a big smile on my face, and it takes a long time to get it off. And where are we going right now? We may or may not find this place.
Well, you're in the show, right?
Yes.
That's important.
Yeah, both of us are. Hold on, maybe this is it. Yep.
Please, no spectator vehicles. It's good to be in a car that can get me past this entrance. That's got to be one of the best looking Bentleys I've ever seen in front of us, I have to say.
Gorgeous.
That is gorgeous.
And I'm not a big Bentley guy.
I'm not a Bentley guy.
But
because they all look the same with those bulbous round.
But I got to say, as a driver's car, they're great cars.
Yeah.
And the new one is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Interior, exterior, everything about it is just a hell of a beautiful car.
Like, that is a much better improvement from the last, I have to say.
I agree.
Once we arrived at the car show and put ourselves in it, we took a walk around to take in the sights. It was a solid lineup with a diverse range of manufacturers, from the latest and greatest to mint-condition classics. There was even one car that I didn't even know existed, the Kaiser Darren. It had sliding doors. Quite bizarre. There were also some jaw-dropping contenders too. A couple I definitely didn't think I'd see in more than just photos. And this 2018 Ford GT is something you have to see in person to truly appreciate. I also happened to be lucky enough to see the Porsche 918 Spyder roll in, and that was one hell of a treat, let me tell you. What? Now, I don't have anything close to a quote-unquote collection, if you will, but if I did, I'd take this guy's advice.
Sell our whole collection and buy that.
After roaming around for a bit more and chatting with strangers about their cars, I stared at the 918 Ford GT for a solid hour, Then Aaron and I headed out and chatted about the car show on the way back. Love that start.
Oh, it's great. Happy sound.
That 918 though is
That's
something
nuts.
special, man.
Nuts.
I can't believe I saw that. Very beautiful car.
Oh yeah, I mean the intricacies of the detail work on it are just immaculate, amazing. I love the way the exhaust comes out the top of the rear of the car. You know, much like the new McLaren 600 LT. I love that.
Yeah.
The exhaust comes out the back.
That is a
top,
great
and-
design look.
Oh,
That
sick.
is.
Gorgeous.
It's a toss-up between that and the 4GT of what really stole the show in my eyes. I kind of go back and forth because the new one is a V6.
It's an Ecotec V6.
To me, that's not what a
I know.
4GT is.
It's not at all. It's not at all. I mean, it sounds great. I mean, it's amazing what they've extracted out of it power-wise.
Yeah.
The car looks amazing. I just can't get over the fact that it's a V6 Ecotec.
The design is so extravagant as far as that.
Oh,
I didn't even notice how it kind of had those two openings in that way.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and seeing
you
it
can
in
see
pictures.
through from the back.
Yeah,
and,
I just caught it at a certain angle where it just kind of blew me away.
Gorgeous car. Yeah.
That thing is a spectacle. Then the Diablo SV.
That was sick.
That was brilliant.
Sick. Those are worth some big money now. Although it was a manual. Yeah.
It was.
That was a manual, which is even better.
And then your friend's Murcielago, that was an automatic, which I gotta say, I didn't know they made those in automatic.
Oh yeah, E-gear. The real desirable Murcielagos are the ones with the manual, gated shifter, gorgeous work of art.
And now the funny thing is as I looked throughout all those cars, when I kept kind of looking back over at your car, it still stood out in kind of the best way possible.
Yeah.
So it's not just, look how crazy we can make something look. Look what we've built is so crazy.
Absolutely.
And that's really what this is.
Function really defined the form on this car. And they went out on a high note because 2017 was the last year they ever made Vipers ever. It was the last manual-only car. They never made an automatic on a Viper. It is the biggest naturally aspirated engine ever made, to my knowledge. 8.4 liter V10.
8.4, wow.
And it's 645 horsepower, 600 pounds of torque. It's a monster. They will never make that again. And the reason why is because fuel efficiency laws. What I had on my gauge cluster earlier today, it said you're averaging, I think it was 7.5 miles per gallon. You know, I just filled up my gas tank. It says I can go 95 miles.
No.
Something like that.
How many gallons
maybe it was
are in
100.
this?
It's not literally. It's because, you know,
Well, the
I drive
computer is
around
adjusting
town.
appropriately.
Yes.
And you're not going highway speeds with it.
No,
So
not usually. I'm still breaking the thing.
yeah,
so.
yeah.
But if they ever bring a Viper back, it won't be a Viper. And they might slap a name Viper on it, but it's going to have a turbo or a hybrid, or it won't be a V10. I don't see them ever coming out with a Viper ever again. Now, you know, by the way, you know, fitness is my thing. There is no better pre-workout than taking one of these to the gym. Just don't bring one of these cars to the gym on leg day. Yeah, after you do a leg day and your legs are feeling like jello, it's not fun to drive the clutch. If you've done a proper workout, that is.
While I'm upset I couldn't be flung sideways in the car, it was a damn pleasure to take a ride in something that held 13 track records upon its initial release. All the work Dodge put into this Viper clearly paid off based on track times alone, not to mention the 0 to 60 time of 3.3 seconds. Let me finish by thanking Aaron for sneaking me into the invite-only car show and taking the day to show me his cars. A follow-up video will be done on his 2008 Viper, and with any luck, I'll be the one behind the wheel on that one. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, shoot me a like and a subscribe. If not, you're crazy. Rewind the video. Didn't you see the car? I mean, come on. Check out the sweet drone shot we got of it. It's pure automotive sex. Anyway, as per normal YouTube goodbyes, thanks for watching. That thing. Love the door handles. I can't get over these door handles.
I know, it's cool.
The softest things inside and out.